So in this video, oh, by the way, before I start, the TV is on, so I hope it's not very loud, but I don't like it quiet in here. So in this, well, recording or whatever, I guess, audio thing, whatever, I was going to, well, just talk, really. I did have some ideas in mind. One is, I thought of some things that, in my opinion, it would be a good idea to find out about when you go to someone's house as a blind person. Like if you're staying, at their house overnight or whatever. And, in hotels probably too. I've only stayed in a hotel a couple of times ever, so, but it'd probably work the same there. I think it would be a good idea to ask, one that I just recently thought of is to ask, where the air vents are in the room, because I think sometimes they're on the ceiling, and a lot of times too they're on the floor, and you can't, they're in the floor, they're not raised up or anything. And especially if you bring baggage with you, you may, if you don't ask, you may end up covering up the air vent in the room that you're sleeping in, with your suitcase or whatever bag, and, making it hot in your room. I've just done that. I just did that the other day. If you're staying at a person's house, you should try and find, like, the closest bathroom to your room. I guess it depends on the person. That person should probably give you kind of a tour of their house, so you don't have to keep saying, whatever their name is, can you take me to the kitchen? Can you take me to the laundry, so you can find your own way, or at least try. You should definitely, keep in mind any steps in the house. Definitely. Because, well, for obvious reasons, I don't think anyone wants to fall down the steps, at all, ever. I mean, I've never heard of anyone that takes pleasure in falling, but anyway. Let's see if I can think of anything else. Oh yeah, you should definitely explore the room you're staying in, in case the window, in case the blinds are open, because, you don't want to be getting dressed and, be at risk of someone peeking at you. I don't know if they would, but, it just depends on where you are, I guess, but that's another thing I just thought of. You should make sure that you know where the window is, and either ask, that person to close the shades or whatever they're called, or close them yourself. You know how I'm terrible at it, so I don't usually try because I get it all tangled and goes on and on from there. If you're good at all with, like, living skills, the rest should be common sense. Those are three that I can think of that I wouldn't always think about. So yeah, I'm just pretty much making this because I am bored, and yep. And it's summer-ish. Well, it's between semesters right now for me. So I don't have class at all right now till August. Anyway, oh yeah, I've started reading, well, kind of started reading Dead and Gone. It's like the 9th Sookie Stackhouse novel. And if you like vampire stuff, I would recommend it. It's way more grown up than Twilight, and it's not nearly as stupid. If you can't tell, I am not a Twilight fan at all. So, but yeah, if you aren't familiar with the Sookie Stackhouse novels by Charlaine Harris, I would definitely look them up on Audible. That's what I did. Or, if you read print or Braille, find them whatever format you prefer to listen or read or whatever. And then there's True Blood, which is it's one of my favorite shows at the moment. That's based off of the Sookie Stackhouse books, but there's a little bit of a difference in there, and there's a lot more language and a lot more sexual content. Me and a couple of my other friends that I guess they both like True Blood, they both agree with me that a lot of the scenes in True Blood do not necessarily need to be filmed, and I don't know why, but they went ahead and showed every little thing I think all of the sexual scenes. That's what they do. I don't know why they do that, but it's not really necessary. Anyway. My other favorite shows are House, which is not on anymore that I know of, but, they have reruns, of course. Family Guy, definitely. I know, you may think it's stupid, but I think it's hilarious, so, yeah. Let's see. True Blood, House, Family Guy. Which one am I thinking of Ghost Adventures. Comes on Travel Channel for most, I think. I think those are my 4 favorite shows. I'm thinking that there's another one, but I can't seem to think of the name. Oh, the IT Crowd, that's it. Yeah, that does not come on here. It's a BBC show. It comes on one of the BBC stations, I'm thinking. It's a British show, and it's I guess it's British comedy. I don't know. Doesn't sound interesting. It's about a law firm or something. Some kind of firm. And in the basement, these 2 guys, Roy and Moss. Roy is Irish and Moss is English. They are the IT guys for that building. And they get this they're the boss of the girl that's in charge of the IT department. Her name is Jen, and she's really stupid, and they just goes on from there, and they play tricks on her, and they get themselves into trouble and all that stuff. But it's a lot funnier than it sounds. It sounds kind of boring the way I just described it, but it's one of those ones that can't really be described. Then there's Merlin, which is another one done by the BBC, but it came on Sci-Fi, I think. The channel, that is. That's based on... It's a King Arthur kind of thing. Merlin is Arthur's best friend castle physician in training sort of thing in this version anyway. And he has to keep his being a wizard top secret because witchcraft gets you hanged or burned in Camelot in this version. I know there are a lot of versions of the whole King Arthur story and the characters, but that's how this one goes. Anyway, so those are my favorite shows, and I just wanted to talk for a bit, so I will stop boring everyone now, and I hope anyone that hasn't read the Sookie Stackhouse novels will go give them a try or go read them.